So as New Year's Eve approaches, which is absolutely... Hi.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to give you a chocolate.
I'm okay.
I'll put it in the kitchen.
Okay.
Sorry.
My dad wanted to give me a chocolate. How cute. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this video. I get so excited for New Year's every year. There's something about starting the new year and having a fresh start and creating goals for yourself for the upcoming year that I just love and I get so excited for. It's time to just reflect also on the previous year. Like, I've reflected so much on 2018 and what I've done really well, what I haven't done so well, what can I improve on, and I think that by doing that, it allows me to like create clearer goals for 2019 and also look forward to so many things. But yeah, another thing I love about New Year's is getting all dolled up. It's the one time a year that I can actually be super extra, whether it be like with the jewelry or with kind of like really funky clothes and makeup. So I'm gonna take you through a New Year's Eve makeup tutorial. It's funny because I actually haven't in my head figured out what exactly I'm gonna do with my makeup right now, but we're kind of going to go through this process together. So I'm very excited about this. And I'm also going to show you how I do my hair for New Year's, which really doesn't change from when I do my hair for events and when I do my hair for work, but I get so many questions about how to curl my hair and how I curl my hair. So I'm going to do exactly that. But to kickstart this tutorial, I'm going to start with skincare. So let's get started. So I'm starting with this Avene Rehydrating Serum. I really love this. I started using this a few days ago and my skin has been really dry recently because of winter weather, and I find that this just does the job. I'm also just going to use this Avene Cold Cream Lip Balm. It has cold cream, jojoba oil, and other hydrating ingredients. So, to kick off my makeup, I'm going to start with complexion. I always start my makeup with complexion. I see a lot of YouTube videos and I find that a lot of makeup artists start their makeup looks with their eyeshadows. Some of them start with complexion. Yeah, but this is just how I do my makeup every day. So I'm going to go in with our Nudies Tinted Blur Stick. I love this product so much because it's super lightweight. It blurs out pores and fine lines, and I find that it does the trick. I don't necessarily love the feeling of foundation on my face, so this really gives me a really nice lightweight finish, but yet still doing the job. By the way, right now I'm using our Nudestix Fluff and Buff brush. This is not yet available, but stay tuned. So I'm using the shade Medium 4 right now, which if you would have seen me before this video, I was so pale, like so pale, and it was a little scary. Like, I looked somewhat sick. So I use shade Medium 4 rather than a lighter shade, like a light 2 or light 3, because I find that it just adds a little bit more warmth to my complexion, and then I'll take a little bit down to my neck because my body is a little bit warmer than my face, and I'll just blend it out so there's no uneven discoloration between the neck and the face. But what's great about the Tinted Blur Stick is that you can go a few shades lighter or a few shades deeper because of the shade adjusting pigments in the formula. It really adjusts to your undertone. Like, for example, this is light 2. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. And this is medium 4. So you can clearly see that medium 4 is deeper than light 2. But when you blend light 2, obviously that blends really nicely into my skin. But then when you blend out medium 4, notice how it doesn't look too deep either. So you can really get away with mixing and matching your shades or wearing a few shades lighter, a few shades deeper. Totally your call. So next I'm going to be using our Nudies Tinted Blur Stick in the shade Deep 8, and I'm going to contour. Because it's New Year's, we're gonna be a little bit more heavy-handed with our application, and I wanted to make this look a little bit more dramatic. So for those of you who have been asking me for a more dramatic look, here it goes. And then to blend out my contour, rather than swiping it back and forth, I'm actually buffing it into the skin just like this, and I find that it gives me more of a diffused finish. And then if I do want to adjust or move the product around, then I will go back and forth. If I do want to blend out the product a little bit more, then I'll go back and forth, but I just want to diffuse it, then I'll pat it in. Just need a little bit more patience. So typically for my contour shade, I'll choose about 3 shades deeper than the shade that I've used all over my face. Really depends on how dramatic you want your contour. I think that looks pretty good. I also take a little bit of the contour shade and I'll use the other side of the blending brush. Just take any small brush or an eyeshadow brush, take a little bit onto the brush and just use that really lightly in my crease to define my eyes. And then I'm going to take a lighter shade, so I'm taking light 2, and I'm going to use that underneath my eyes to highlight. A little bit on my chin, my forehead. So if you do want a little bit more of a natural coverage, you can stop right here. You don't have to go in with concealer or a heavier powder, but for the sake of this glam, dramatic New Year's Eve look, I'm going to add our concealer pencil, which is amazing. I'm using the shade Light 3, and I'm going to use this in areas that I want a little bit more coverage and a little bit more lifting happening, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to use this right underneath my eye area, and I do like to place a little bit on the outer corners because I do have a little bit of darkness right here, and I like to place a little bit on my chin, my nose, wherever I get redness, and then using a brush, blending that out. You can use your fingers as well. I probably will go back in with concealer after I do my eye makeup because I like to just clean up my eye area afterwards. So now that my complexion is done, I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. So since it's New Year's Eve, I'm going to go a little bit more glam. So I'm using our Nudestix Magnetic Matte Eye Color. And this is probably my go-to matte eye shade that I use all the time. You can build it, you can sheer it out. For this look, I'm going to build it and make it a little bit more intense. I'm going to start by applying it right in my crease. And then either using your fingers or you can use a crease brush. It's going to blend it out. I tend to always go in at one point with my fingers. I always kind of like to drag it towards the outer corner. And take a little bit of the leftovers and apply all over my lid. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. I think that looks pretty even. So next I'm going in with our Magnetic Luminous Eye Color in the shade Rustique, which is a beautiful luminous bronze copper, has a little bit of a red undertone, really pretty on all skin tones. And I'm going to keep this super pigmented all over my lid. And then either with your fingers or with a brush, I just like to blend out the edges. And then I'm going to take Rustique again and apply it in my lower lash line. Okay, so I'm liking the way this is looking. Really love this. I love these shades. And then I'm going in with our Magnetic Luminous Eye Color in the shade Angel, which is really going to give my eyes a pop of color, or pop of brightness. Also going to take a little bit of our Magnetic Luminous Eye Color in the shade Copper Foil, which is one of my favorites. It's a really nice luminous copper. Place that ever so slightly in the center of my lid along my lash line, just to brighten the look a little bit. So next I'm going to go back in a little bit with concealer to clean up the eye area. I love this concealer because you can build it and it doesn't look cakey. It has a really nice warm undertone, so it neutralizes discoloration really well. So I'm going in with a little bit of the contour tone that I use and just lightly swiping a little bit more on my cheeks. And I'm just going to set the concealer down with my finger just to make sure that there's no creasing. Sorry, I have OCD. I have to put all the caps on all of the pencils before I finish. By the way, if you have any magnetic eye colors and you notice they dried out, it's probably because either you didn't keep the cap on properly. They are airtight caps. What they will do is that they keep all of the moisture in the pencil. So you want to make sure that you're always putting the cap on or keeping the cap on. Okay, so to finish off my eye look, I'm going in with our Nudestix mascara, which is a beautiful, beautiful lash lengthening mascara. So this is mascara, no mascara. Mascara is so good. And also it doesn't clump and there's no flaking or fallout. So you can obviously put mascara on your lower lashes as well. I don't usually put mascara on my lower lashes, or I just put like a really, really tiny bit. Next I'm gonna go in with some blush. I'm using our Nudies matte in the shade In the Nude, which is like my favorite blush. And I just smile and swipe it on the cheeks, a little bit on the lips, you can use your fingers, just melt the product into the skin. And next, I'm going in with some highlighter. I'm using our Nudies Glow in the shade Hey Honey. And I'm gonna show you 2 ways that you can use this highlighter. Number 1, you can use a beauty blender. You can tap the beauty blender directly on the highlighter, on the stick, and then smile and dab it on the high points of the face. This is if you don't necessarily want that super dewy finish, but you still want that really nice glow. So this is gonna pick up the color from the stick and that shine. And then I also like to put it a little bit on my eyes, on my chin, my nose. So notice that this is with glow, without glow. You can see that. Another way that you can apply this is by literally swiping or tabbing the color directly onto the skin, and you'll notice that it does give you a little bit more of a wet finish. And then I personally like to use my fingers to tap it into the skin, and then on the eyes I'll just use my finger again. Kind of tap it in to all the high points of the face. Last but not least, I'm going to tone it down on my lips. I am going to line my lips though, so I'm going to use Rose. I'm sorry, I always use Rose, but I love it. And then I like to diffuse the edges with my fingers, and this one is going to give me a really nice stained lip. But then I'm going to add a little bit of gloss using our gel color Balm in the shade Avene, which is kind of like a caramel neutral gloss. And I'm going to place this in the center. So this is my final makeup look, but I am not done. I still got to do my hair, so I'm going to show you how I typically do my hair for an evening. This look is really just natural beach waves. I never like my curls to look overly defined, so I'm going to show you how I get kind of like the 70s wave look. So to kickstart, before I use any heat to my hair, I go in with this Ouai Hair Oil, and I love this because it's heat protecting, so it'll protect your hair from the heat. But also, after you curl your hair, after you apply heat, once you use this, your hair just looks really smooth. So I apply such a small amount into my hair. You can apply more if you have a little bit more of a dry texture, or a little bit less if you have oilier hair. And don't put it on your roots. You really just want to keep it towards the ends, kind of like midway. Just like that. Maybe a little bit here if you have bleached hair like me, because those areas tend to get a little bit more dry. So I'm going to show you how I curl my hair. So I'm using this Bellami hair wand. They have different sizes. I believe this is a 32 millimeter, but they have larger ones, smaller ones. I like the larger ones because I like when my curls are a little bit bigger, because then I can like really kind of brush them through and it gives me like this really nice wave. So you can either start at the front. I typically start at the back. I know it's sometimes hard to see. And then it's not rocket science. Holding the wand downwards and wrapping it around in the direction that you want your wave. And then there you have it. And I kind of let this dry. I don't touch the waves until I finish my entire head. Sorry, this wire's on my face. So obviously, if you want your curl to be higher, you just want to start the curl a little bit higher. So rather than maybe starting your curl here, you start your curl here and wrap it around. I leave the wand on for about 6 to 8 seconds, then slowly move it down and then let it go. You want to make sure that you're getting fairly small pieces. If your pieces are too thick, then you'll either have to hold the hair in place for longer, or you won't get a very defined curl. And for smaller pieces, you don't have to obviously hold as long. And for the front piece, I don't like the front piece to be overly curly, so I typically hold it for like 4, 3, 2, 1. That kind of wave out. And then typically I'll put my hair up first, and then I'll do the bottom first, and then I'll do the top. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show you. Sometimes if I'm really lazy, I'll just curl the bottom like this. So I don't really care if the bottom's like overly perfect. And then so how it kind of just flows with all the other pieces. The bottom pieces, sort of like making them really loose wave. And then if I do want to like redo some pieces or make some pieces higher, I'll just take them again. Like this one right here. I feel like this is always my better side. I think everyone has like a good side when they do their curls. One tip that you can do, which I don't typically do because I never do it right, is you can, if you want more of like a beach kind of beach wave, then you can curl it so that each curl is in a different direction by just wrapping the hair in different directions each time. Oh, I swear I almost just burnt a hole in the wall. Oh god, that would not be good. So, now that my hair is all curled, first thing I do is take a little bit more oil, literally like not even a dime size, and rub it everywhere and just brush it through really lightly without actually putting my fingers through the wave. What this will do is really just hydrate the hair and define the curl. The next thing I do is not so typical, but I learned this from my friend Scott at Ouai. And what he does is he'll put the hair back and he will just zhuzh it from the top. Because I don't like my waves to be overly defined. I still want it to look fairly natural. And then what I'll do is I'll flip my head. You see how I'm kind of getting more of that 70s vibe now, and everything's a little bit more fluffier. It's not as defined. And then what I'll do is really lightly just brush through it, and you have like your big loose waves, 70s inspired kind of Farrah Fawcett vibes. I hope you guys enjoyed this New Year's Eve glam look. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. If you want me to do more tutorials like this where I kind of get my hair involved or skincare, then definitely let me know. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Happy New Year's, guys!